The So Bros Network presents the movie podcast breaking down films and their impact on pop culture as they approach the legal drinking age. This is Drinking With. Now here's your host, Stephen McCash.
Happy New Year, everybody. Woo! Welcome to an all-new exciting episode of Drinking With. We're starting season 5 right here with you today. Drinking With is the podcast where we raise a glass to the movies that have reached the legal drinking age. I'm your host, McCash of the So Bros Network. And join me as we embark on a cinematic journey through the classics of yesteryear, celebrating their 21st birthdays and styles, from iconic blockbusters to hidden gems. Each episode will toast to a different film that has stood the test of time and shaped our cultural landscape. So grab your favorite beverage or the one we have curated for this episode, and let's dive into the nostalgia as we explore movies that are finally old enough to join us for a drink. And doing so are the two people who I think are the best to stumble out of a bar with after a long discussion of movies. And that is one, Mr. Brandon Vick, who is the resident film critic of the So Bros Network, who's also a member of the Southeastern Film Critics Association, a board member of the Music City Films Critics Association, and most importantly, the birth giver of the Vix Flicks and the Cinema Chronicles podcast, heard right here on the So Bros Network. And with him joining us, as always, is the man behind the So Bros Network, the EIC, the glue of the brand, a gin aficionado, cat lover, and all-around football wordsmith, Mr. Stoney Keeley. Gentlemen, how is this New Year's finding both of you?
Very well, very well. I didn't watch the movie we're going to talk about today, so I can't weigh in that much. I'm just kind of producing and supporting you guys, but I'm still happy to be here. I'm still happy to be here to sit in on this conversation about this iconic biopic.
This is one of my favorite movies.
Movies, period. Just biopic.
Yeah. Performance, direction, obviously the music.
Yeah.
I listened to this soundtrack, I think, 2 years after it came out. I could listen to Ray Charles any time of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm pumped.
Spoiler alert, we're talking about Ray.
Ray who?
The Academy Award-winning film all about Ray Charles. Ray chronicles the life of the equally brilliant and troubled singer and pianist Ray Charles, from his early childhood where he learned to deal with the challenges of a new disability to his fighting his personal demons and addictions. Ray showcases key moments in his career and personal life, showing why Charles is one of the most influential musicians in the history of American music.
Hell yeah. Man, did he have some cool Pepsi commercials.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he did.
I got the right one, baby.
And he could sing, a patriotic song like nobody else, especially
oh my God.
at a wrestling event.
Especially if Andre the Giant was there.
Yeah.
Was he there?
Was that 3, right? He was at 3?
Yeah, okay.
That's what you're saying?
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. He. We're not going to talk about who Andre wrestled in that match because
Nope. Never heard of him.
Never heard him.
Canceled.
Anyway, let's talk about good things.
Yeah.
Ray stars Jamie Foxx as the one and only Ray Charles.
Hell yeah.
Also features Regina King as Margie Hendricks, Kerry Washington as Della B. Robinson, Clifton Powell as Jeff Brown, Bokeem Woodbine as Fathead Newman, and you also have Richard Schiff is in the film, Terrence Howard, and Lorenz Tate, who plays a young Quincy Jones.
Oh yeah.
Before seeing Ray, I didn't know they had a connection from that early on in their careers.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that either.
Yeah. Ray was directed by Taylor Hackford, who did An Officer and Gentleman, Against All Odds, Dolores Claiborne. I had no idea he had directed those films before seeing Ray.
Do you know what else he's doing?
Please enlighten us.
Helen Mirren. They're married.
Whoa. Man.
That's a prize right there.
That is a prize right there. All due respect.
Hell yeah.
It was written. Go ahead. No.
Oh, no. Sorry. I was going to say one of the last movies Taylor Hackford did was with Helen Mirren and Joe Pesci, The Love Ranch, about the prostitution thing that ended up getting busted in like the 70s or 80s.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yep.
Is Helen one of the whores?
She show her biddies?
Yeah.
No. She's classy. She runs the joint. Duh.
Unfortunately.
Got to keep Pesci under control.
Yeah. But it was written by Taylor as well as Jamie White. And to start the year off right, I'm going to get us fucked up.
Oh. Hello.
It's well documented the problems that Ray Charles had with a certain substance throughout his life that almost put him in jail and took away everything that he had worked so hard for.
Is this a Diet Coke and cocaine?
It's not quite.
Oh.
Not quite.
Pepsi, Diet Pepsi.
But today's drink is simply liquid heroin.
Oh, damn.
And it's a shot. We're not doing anything fancy. You're going
No.
to take an ounce and a half of Rumple Minze and an ounce and a half of Jägermeister, mix it in a shaker with some ice, and then strain into a shot glass.
Y'all have
That's
fun with that one.
dangerous.
The
That's
last time I drank
dangerous.
Rumple Minze, was 2014. I drank an entire bottle, and my face was green the next morning.
Well, why did you go through a whole bottle?
It's tasty.
Yeah.
It's tasty and easy to drink. And I
Is
can't
that
drink
the peppermint
Jaeger.
stuff?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I can't drink Jaeger because one of my friends threw it up in my mouth one night. Out the passenger seat of a taxi, out the window and into the back window
Yeah.
in the back of my throat as I was yawning.
I'll tell you right now, whether
Sleepy.
you drank it out of a bottle or it came out of your friend's mouth, I guarantee you it tasted the same.
Yeah.
Yes, I can confirm.
Yeah. My
And
God.
gross.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all are gonna have to do this month's drinks on your own.
Yeah. Much like the rest of this episode we're doing on our own, Brandon.
Damn,
So Brandon
got him.
Brandon gets to experience what it's like when me and Stoney do shows without you.
Yeah.
I think
Fair enough.
And then
Yeah,
I'll
take
sit out
that.
March and see how it goes.
Take that.
Let's talk money.
Let's do one without McCash, but we'll find a John Cusack movie.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. Money, budget. What do we think it costs for Ray?
Oh man. See, you start talking movies like this, and to me, that's a lot tougher to think. Like like
a
there's
period
some
piece.
where I feel like, it can't be more than like 30 million. But this one, God, I don't know. I just feel like it might cost money to even try and get all of his songs, but the family kind of has to give you permission.
Oh, and he
to
was
do the
he
deal.
was still alive when the movie was filmed.
Was he?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He actually.
I mean, I know he was breathing.
But
but
he
was
sat it through a screening.
They
of,
said that he got to see it in his
well, he didn't
own
get
way.
to see it.
Well, he said in his own way. So I don't know how that works, but
Yeah.
like, hey, what'd you think? Well, sounded good.
Yeah.
The
The guy singing was really good.
yeah. I like that guy. I'm gonna say Jamie 48 million. I would think
48?
it's under 50.
All right.
Dang, I was gonna say 20, 24.
You might be right.
So I'm way
I
off.
don't think I get any of this right.
Well,
48 and 24.
Yep.
40.
Okay. All right.
$40 million for Ray, and it's well documented that that Jamie Foxx used like almost glue, basically some sort of prosthetic that had his eyes closed for like 14 hours a day, so he couldn't see. And I think that's where all the money went to.
Oh,
And the fake heroin he shot
oh
up.
yeah, I didn't see that coming. That was going to be where all those funds were spent.
Box office wise, still talking money. This was a film. This film was released October 29th, 2004. Perfect time for a movie like this in the midst of spooky season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Oscar. That's prime. We're really getting into that prime Oscar season.
Well,
Yeah.
it did not open at number 1.
Yeah, I didn't think
It opened at number 2
Oh.
for the week behind The Grudge, which was in its second week. And it just beat out Saw, which was released the same weekend as Ray.
Saul is 3, Ray is 2,
Two.
and The Grudge
Grudge is
after a
1.
week.
Is
So it's
1.
second week. was
Second
one.
week of The Grudge. So what did Ray bring in its opening weekend U.S. Canada box office?
I feel like this was a pretty big opening.
But a movie that came out a week before was number 1 again.
Yeah,
It's spooky season, though.
I'm gonna say
I mean, even if it drops off a bit,
38.
I'm gonna say
Hmm.
I'm gonna say 29.
Okay, so 29 and 38, and it finished second, and you think The Grudge brought in 40 million?
I didn't say 40 million.
No, he said 38, so I'm rounding up.
Oh,
If The Grudge is number 1.
yeah. Because I'm thinking maybe The Grudge made 30, and Ray's like sort of behind it.
Ray brought in just over 20 million.
20 million.
Damn.
I almost said 24.
U.S. Canada total box office, it was just right at $75.5 million.
There you go.
Yep. And then worldwide, it really did some damage as well, bringing in total of just right at $124 million.
That's a hell of a number for a $40 million Ray Charles movie.
It more than tripled its budget, so you can't hate that. The French really loved Ray Charles.
Oh.
And the movie especially, bringing in a little over $11.1 million.
Wow.
And then the Egyptians
Here we go.
fucking hated Ray.
It's always them and the goddamn Bulgarians.
Egypt brought in $1,800.
Oh, get out of here, Egypt.
But the Bulgarians,
Oh.
$22,500.
Okay. You know, they always are in this kind of $15,000 to $25,000. That's all you're going to really get
They
out
probably
of them.
only have 2 screens in the whole country.
Probably. The other one was The Grudge.
Yeah.
So they just went back and forth.
I will say that I love that I have snuck in what Bulgaria does on every episode for like the last 6 months.
Yeah,
Well,
you have.
I think now
Yeah.
you have to stick with it.
It's a bit. Speaking of bit that just started about a year or so ago on here, Rotten Tomato scores. We're looking tomato meter. What do we think the critics thought of Ray?
96.
Let's say 91.
Oh, he fell asleep.
7. I didn't think you were going to go that fast, so I scrolled up to
Oh.
look at a note. 79.
Really?
Wow, didn't even
For-
get to 80?
Yep. But
Wow.
then we have the audience, the popcorn meter.
There's 79.
The critics
Critics
the
was
tomato meter, yeah.
I'm really surprised by that, first and
I
foremost.
I at least thought it'd be in the 80s. That's why I thought I'll just go right over.
85 for the audience score.
Okay.
I'm going to say 90.
You're kind of split in half. 87.
Mm.
Okay.
Not too shabby.
No, that's good.
No. And then another fun thing we like to do around this time is the letterbox reviews for
Yeah.
Ray. And Lydia, 4.5 stars for Ray.
Okay.
Okay.
She simply says Jamie Foxx was coming for that Oscar as his life depended on it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, he brought it.
That's true.
He
really brought it.
Yep. Nathan, 3.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah. How the hell do you know? But
I was going to let that
I
slide.
will tell you, by the time you got to
Hey,
think.
guess what? Ray's never seen it either.
By the time at the beginning of August to the end of October, Jamie Foxx has done Collateral and Ray.
That's a heater.
That's a nice. It's a nice
That's
little.
a heater.
It's a nice 1-2 punch.
Yep.
Spoiler alert, next month we talk all things Collateral. So when you're
Yeah.
getting a Jamie Foxx 1-2
Oh,
to start
you
the
lucky
year.
ducks.
Yep.
But this was like, would y'all say that this was his like big arrival, like the next step in his career?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Because he had done In Living Color, done stand up,
Booty call.
and then yes, Booty Call, and then started doing music. He'd had some hits
Yeah.
by this point.
Mhm.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
then Ray was really what launched him.
What wasn't it after Ray? He had that.
The Kanye song.
Well, yeah, Gold Digger after that, but that Blame It on the Goose. Got you feeling loose.
Well, that was T-Pain, but yes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
But Jamie Foxx is in it.
Yeah,
Or
he
that's
is.
his song.
But that's a T-Pain song.
No.
That's Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jamie Foxx. It might be Jamie Foxx featuring T-Pain, but I do because I remember the music video.
Blame it on the alcohol.
That's what it's called. Blame it on the goose. Got you feeling loose. He also sang that.
Then my pants got bigger.
He also sang that. I can
it's
feel
the two of
it
them together.
in
yeah.
my fingers.
No.
He didn't sing that.
Feeling on your butt. What?
Stoney definitely knows Jamie Foxx music. Doesn't watch Ray, but he knows those hits.
He's waiting for the Jamie Foxx biopic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who would
yeah.
play him?
Michael B. Jordan.
There you go.
Jamie Foxx.
I was going to say that was a really quick answer.
Because I
You
think
thought
Michael
about
B.
that.
Jordan can do everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Nathan, 3 stars.
What?
Says, I'm back at the letterbox
I
review.
know, but he gave it 3.
3 stars.
I'm just pissed about the rating. I know
Well-
where we're at.
I mean, at least he watched the movie.
That's true. But does he know all the words to Jamie Foxx songs?
I don't know. He says it's bizarrely structured and far too long, but Jamie Foxx is great and most of the musical moments work really well.
bizarrely structured.
Yeah.
It's a biopic. What the hell? Okay. Whatever.
And then Steve, no relation.
Here we go.
3.5 stars.
Oh boy.
1 star removed for insinuating that white folks in the 60s had rhythm.
Damn. I get the penalty on that, but
Yeah.
I mean, you had to knock it a whole star.
A whole star.
Could at least give it 4.
And then lastly, Leighton Trent gave it 4 stars.
Okay. Getting better.
Says that Jamie Foxx inhabitation of Ray Charles is something film will never see again. It's not just a performance piece, though. The film is fantastic across the board. Haxford choices are expert here, and the writing, cinematography, costumes design, etc. are all top of the line.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
That whole, like, look of it, Stoney, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the whole look of it, and I really did like those musical scenes. Like, even the ones where they're in the studio, and much less, when he's first starting out, and it's in these, like, shitty bars where you can't even really,
Right.
it's really just for black people. You can't even
Shoot
go.
joints.
Yeah. So, but I agree. I think that film isn't what it is without that. I mean, even the editing, but especially the writing, and I mean the direction and performances. You can't. I mean, I think it's a heavy hitter in all of them.
I can't disagree at
Stoney?
Totally.
all. Some little insight to Ray Charles, if you don't know a lot about his career and such. Ray Charles Robinson, his real birth name.
Mhm.
Robinson was the last name. They obviously wanted to change it away from the boxer, Sugar Ray Robinson. Didn't want to be associated to having the same person with the same name.
That's fine.
Yeah. He was often called the father of soul, born in Albany, Georgia in 1930, and then quickly moved to Florida shortly after his birth. Not long after witnessing the untimely death of his younger brother, Ray began to lose his vision and was 100% blind by the age of 7.
Wow.
I've never read anywhere on like what was the cause.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it would be classified
Yeah.
now. I'm sure they didn't know then, because I mean, I think they didn't even understand it.
No.
And there's a scene where he's at the doctor. I think is it after his brother's passed?
Yeah, because I just remember that the mother has like that like syrupy paste like stuff that are rubbing on his eyes
That's
to kind of
what
make it better. But shortly after I don't know if he's 100% blind at this point, but shortly close to that, his mother sends him to the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, where he learns to read Braille, write, and arrange music in Braille as well. And there he learned to play not only the piano, but also the organ, saxophone, clarinet, and trumpets.
Wow.
That's quite impressive,
Hell
especially
yeah.
at a young age. And then by the time he was 23, he landed a deal with Atlantic Records and released the hit single Mess Around. And a year later, earned his first #1 hit with I Got a Woman.
Yeah.
Throughout the 50s and 60s, Charles crossed multiple genres with hits on the R&B, pop, and country charts. Even with all his success, Charles struggled with his own demons. Arrested in 1965 for possession of heroin. Luckily, he was able to avoid any jail time and finally kicked the habit, going through rehab in Los Angeles. Sadly, he succumbed to liver disease in 2004, just 4 months before the movie Ray premiered.
Oh, it was liver disease?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He came down with, he was diagnosed with hepatitis C at one point, and which affects your liver, and succumbed to that over time.
Oh, but he was in his 80s, wasn't he?
So this would have been 2004 when he passed. He was born in 30. So 70, mid-70s, early 70s.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess
Yeah.
he was close to 80.
Yeah.
I didn't actually get into this song. We have a radio station in Nashville that plays old stuff, and they have the Ray Charles, Willie Nelson, 7 Spanish Angels.
Oh, yeah.
I have really come to like that. You were talking about how he's on the country charts, too. And also, he has, I forgot the title of it, but it plays in Christmas Vacation when Chevy Chase is up in the attic and he's watching those home movies. They play a Ray Charles Christmas song that I don't know why people don't play it. It's a beautiful Christmas song.
I'm not familiar.
I can look it up while we do it, but it's like the most wonderful time. Like, why can't it be like this all year round? Sounds just like it, what I just said. So
I don't think Stoney's seen that movie either.
Oh God.
I love that movie. That's my favorite Christmas movie. I know what song you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it.
The Spirit of Christmas.
Okay.
That's what it's called. If you have it, now he does. I think The Spirit of Christmas was also an album, but it is called. It's like it's that Spirit of Christmas.
Yeah, you can keep singing it, but I don't know.
It's a perfect time of year
Let's move on.
to be with the one you love.
Did you know Ray Charles could fly planes?
What?
Yeah, true story.
Paper planes.
No. Charles had an interest in flying and was determined to buy his own plane.
Oh my
So
God.
during the early 60s, he bought a 5-passenger Cessna 310, which was piloted by Tom McGarity, one of the very few black Air Force veterans. And then often Charles would ask McGarity questions about the plane and would even help the pilot under the plane's hood when they were doing repairs and such. And on some nights, instead of McGarity switching to autopilot when they were flying somewhere, Charles would fly the plane, listening to the hum of the beam tones off of the radar. So he listened to the radar for directions. The man could do everything in this world but one.
See.
Correct.
And he technically got to do that until 7.
That's true.
So he's done it all.
He's done it all. It was while Ray Charles was enrolled in a rehabilitation program at St. Francis Hospital near L.A. in the mid-'60s that he learned to play chess. His doctor was teaching him and ways to help fight insomnia. So
Just to play chess?
Yep. He would often play throughout the night with other patients. He loved winning at chess and it was not a matter of luck, but rather of skill. That's what he loved about the game because you don't get lucky playing chess. It's actually a skill game. So somebody quoted, he's like, we start with the same pieces in the same places. You've got to outwit, outthink, and outmaneuver the other person, Charles said. Which
a lot like
smart.
Survivor now.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I didn't see that in the movie.
You didn't see the chess scene with the doctor?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Did you see Ray?
Yeah. God, did I watch a different movie?
I think you did.
Jesus.
He maintained a long life passion for the game. He even had his own chessboards made, one of which is in the American History Museum.
Gosh, what it's like to be rich.
What's interesting about it is they feature squares of alternating heights. So the white would be on the one side, one height, and the black ones would be on the other height. So that way he knew which pieces were his, which pieces were the other person's. And then also to help him identify the pieces by touch, the black pieces had sharper tops while the white ones were more rounded.
Man. I mean, even with such a disability, I mean, look at all the things he did and accomplished. And you're talking about flying a plane.
And everybody talks about Stevie Wonder.
Right. What's he done lately?
Yeah, what's he done? I bet he couldn't beat somebody in chess.
No. Hell no.
No way.
No. And then, although,
what about, when do we get to the part where he defined woman's beauty by the size of the wrist?
We could talk about that right now. I have no agenda.
I'm not saying it's right, but I laughed when I first saw it and when I saw it again because I love that that's how he decided if the woman was pretty or not.
Well, they say pretty in the movie, but I think you're more looking at if they were fat or not.
Well, yeah, I think that's actually right.
Very much like a certain director of Love Actually.
No, stop. Come on.
It's fat shaming. I think Ray Charles did the same
thing.
Again, you can tell which 3 episodes we filmed on the same day.
But I love that.
Love Actually was just last month, guys.
That's how he thought. Like that's what he took from that. But yeah, I mean, he was. The thing is, I mean, and it's like anybody. I mean, he was a flawed man.
Very much so.
He did, like you said, he got his life in order, but I mean, he cheated on his,
well, it's funny, the movie, and I have it somewhere in my notes, I can't remember. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Della B, who played by Kerry Washington, is not his first wife in real life. He married a woman before her. Her name was...
When he was younger?
Eileen Williams. They married in 1951.
Oh, in 51.
Had a child, and then divorced in 52. So they were really together long enough to have a kid, literally, before he split.
And by the time, I love the scene where Regina King,
who is amazing in her role.
who had enough,
Yeah.
and it's that what's that song?
Hit the Road Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when she sings it, and it's almost like out of like anger.
Yeah.
I love that. And when you listen to it on the soundtrack, I can't help but think of that scene every time.
And I wonder, because you have that one, and there was one other song portrayed in the film where he's like just writing it right then and there, but somebody else is involved in the scene as well. And I just wonder if that's actually how those songs came
Was
to
it in
be.
like in his house and she comes
Yeah,
up?
I forget which song it was, but I think it was him and not Regina King's character. But
Was it Unchain My Heart?
maybe
I think I kind of know because it's in like their bedroom or something.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if that was just, they wrote that to make it fit in the film, or if that actually happened in real life.
That's probably tough.
With Regina's character just riffing off of Hit the Road Jack, and it actually works.
But then
for the
it
song.
makes you think, like, because of like it's all the real recordings.
Yeah.
Was the actual real person pissed? Or did they make that into the movie because the recording's the recording?
Yeah.
And it sounds like she's angry, but, you're just hearing it. When you see Regina King doing it, it's like, oh. So now, like, I just associate, like, when she sings that, like, oh, she must have been pissed at him.
Yeah.
But, man, he just didn't care. And the thing is,
he
he
would
didn't
stick
hide
that
it.
thing wherever.
He did not hide it at all. And I know, like, I'm sure people say, back then it didn't matter. And you didn't divorce just a divorce, though he at least had already been divorced once.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and as the thing is that I guess as they become an old man, but then like you see the life he lived, if there was a bad boy, back then that's what he was.
And
it wasn't until he kicked heroin, and he wasn't that young.
And if you haven't seen the film or really know anything about Ray Charles, and you only know him from the music, the commercials you've seen and such, you just think he's, happy-go-lucky blind guy who's really talented at singing and playing the piano, not knowing this really dark history he has.
Well, and I'm thinking of people of a certain age, he had already cleaned, he'd already been cleaned up by then. Like, I imagine him, I don't even remember, like, when I was seeing him on TV and stuff, I don't even remember him with, like, not having gray hair.
No, I first learned of Ray Charles watching the Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah,
because he's in
in their movie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I am glad he got cleaned up. But man, his voice it's incomparable. It's
one of a kind.
Yeah. I agree. We talked about this before we hit play about where one of the things is like you thought Jamie Foxx should sing his own stuff, but I don't know. I'm mainly for that. I think Rami Malek copying Freddie Mercury, but then you have Taron Egerton who did his own singing in Rocket Man.
Yep.
Joaquin, he did it. But there's
and
something.
Jamie Foxx is a more known singer than those two.
Yeah. Blame it on the goose. Got you feeling loose. But I kind of think because of like with Ray Charles, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
And I don't know, I don't really have a reason why, and maybe it's because the way that it's done in this one, it doesn't even seem like it's lip sync. Like it just seems like it's a natural thing. So that's credit to Jamie Foxx and the editing, because Taylor Hackford could have. It could have been a shit show, but yeah, I was just thinking like more. I would always be up for people doing it, but I'm like, I don't mind it, and I don't know if it's just because I like Ray Charles's voice, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Because Freddie Mercury's voice, who needs that?
Hey,
who needs that?
Hey now.
Oh, and by the way, Rami Malek, he won the Oscar.
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
If anyone cares.
He shouldn't have. I will say that one of the most touching scenes for me is at the end of the movie where Ray finds out that, I forget the character's name, has passed away, one of the ones he impregnated and had a child with.
Oh, yeah.
And he finds out at his home on his son's birthday, and he breaks down crying and everything, and B comes in, Kerry Washington, she finds out, and she's like, I'll start sending money. And he's like, I've always been sending money every month. And then he kind of storms out of the room a little bit, breaks down in tears, crying. And then she has this look where I felt like, and I don't know what happened in real life, but it seemed like she had this moment where she thought it was her responsibility then to raise this bastard child, basically.
Yeah. That's that one. And, we talk about like his multiple affairs, but it was also cool to see, and I forgot the location, but basically he left the he didn't do a show.
Oh, it was in Georgia
because of segregation.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't. Oh yeah, because they ended
banned from the state.
Yeah, and then they forgave him. And of course, "Georgia on My Mind" is now the song of the state.
Yeah.
But there's things like that too, where like that took balls to say, no, I'm not. I'm getting back on the bus and we're leaving.
Well, it's a little upsetting with the way that came about, because he had to basically be not coerced into it, but kind of shamed to like, hey, you've got all this power and you're doing nothing with it.
Yeah. And then you think like even people today, like how they use their voice, and especially when they decide they're going to use it. But I mean, back then it made a difference. He was the guy.
Yeah.
So somebody had to do it.
And then in today's world, you have a certain segment of the population that'll tell you to just shut up and dribble.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, depending on who you are,
what
you look like,
and where you are, and all those good things. No one had interest in backing this movie.
Man,
no studio had any interest. It was shot independently, and it was only distributed by Universal because one of the executives there used to hitchhike to Ray Charles concerts.
These are the stories that amaze me, where literally no one wanted it, and then literally a Ray Charles fan who just happened to have, I guess, a higher role than most, gets it done.
Yep.
And now look, and then Universal takes credit for it.
Yeah. This was our baby the whole time. Yeah. Taylor Hackford, the director, secured the rights to Ray Charles' life story back in 1987, but couldn't find a studio to finance the film.
1987? Holy shit.
So he sat on that for, 15 plus years.
So it's everyone else's fault that Ray Charles didn't really get to see it and died 4 months before.
Well, it's not really any studio's fault that Ray Charles didn't get to see it, because he...
Right, but he could have gone to the premiere.
Yeah. Hackford ended Ray where it ends because the rest of Ray Charles's life was actually full of success and no conflict.
Oh, after he kind of gets
after the Georgia,
and he goes
like,
back to Georgia.
Yep. I was like, it makes sense.
Well, good for them. What a time to stop. Be like, actually, all good news from here, folks.
Yeah. So Ray didn't get to see the film, but he did get to read it because the script was translated into Braille for him.
Oh, good.
Yep.
I mean, it should. If you're making chessboards, you could at least give the man a script that he can read.
Like I mentioned earlier, Charles was able to sit through the first edit of the film before his death in June of 2004. And while we talked about briefly, Jamie does not sing in the film at all. He did, however, excuse me.
Uh-oh.
I feel it coming.
Oh.
Barf.
While Jamie did not sing in the movie, despite his uncanny impersonation, he did actually play the piano in all the musical scenes.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Did he learn it, or he already know it?
I'm sure he knew how to play the piano, but I'm sure he did study Ray Charles,
like the way he plays it,
old videos, and he would, once he got the role, he would go and visit Ray Charles periodically.
There's
for
pictures,
a while.
I think, of them two sitting together at the piano.
And then after a while, he stopped going to visit Ray because he's like, a 70-year-old Ray Charles really can't help me play a young Ray Charles.
Yeah.
So he relied on old videos and cassette tapes that were given to him by Casey.
So did he just spit in Ray Charles's face and say, "You're too old to teach me"?
Fuck you, old man.
No, that makes sense.
But no, Quincy Jones gave him a bunch of old cassettes of Ray Charles, and that's how he learned to mimic
Quincy Jones. God rest his soul.
Man, it's upsetting that man's gone because he was a musical genius.
I'll be honest though, I think he was starting to go into Me Too stuff. I think people started...
Quincy Jones?
Yeah, I think people started accusing him.
I have never heard such a story.
Yeah. Or is it Russell Simmons? It could be Russell Simmons too.
It's definitely. I think you got the wrong.
Got the wrong Quincy.
I think you got the wrong man.
All right.
That's Rashida's daddy now.
I know. Hey, listen. Listen. He's a genius. But I thought I could have sworn there was stuff. Now maybe it didn't come nothing came of it, but because then I didn't hear anything, and then the last thing I heard is that he passed away.
Yeah, I will say I think one of the funniest moments in the film is kind of at the early where Ray has got on the bus. He's gone to Seattle. Him and his buddy Terrence Howard. It's Terrence Howard himself, and I forget the other actor's name. They align themselves with that club booker, whatever her
jipping him.
Yeah. That's jipping them, but also getting a little side piece of Ray Charles.
Oh, the woman.
Woman.
Yeah.
She is having her way with Ray Charles on the nightly.
Yeah.
And every time Ray would go to the bathroom, she's like, Ray, when you coming back to bed?
he almost seems scared.
He seems scared. Yeah, very much so. I mean, maybe he didn't like the feel of her wrist. I don't know.
I'm a huge fan of the entire film, but I really like when they get into like the music part. Like even if a studio like seeing it, but it just sounds so good.
Yeah.
And it's done so well, even if he's like, just kind of mirroring his moves along with the music and the voice, but yeah, I mean it's almost like any time they'd start like there's times where like it was cool to see certain stuff, but to me, like if the music's going on, it's great. If it's not, and you're kind of seeing, maybe his hardships, him overcoming it, but it's like I thought it was really enthralling all the way through. And I do think, like you said, I don't know if like all of it, I'm sure some of it's for the movie as far as how these songs came about, but I like the stuff where Sinatra doesn't even get that deal.
Yeah,
what he's wanting.
I mean, he's wanting his masters.
Yeah,
which unheard of.
I was going to say, which no one's even thinking about that.
Like I don't know if I mentioned while we were recording, but I said so earlier. Like this was my first time watching Ray.
Yeah.
It's a movie I'd always had on my list to watch, but just never got around to. And plus, I'm not a fan of if your movie's over 2.5 hours. It's hard for me to get to watch it, but I watched it, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Those who know me know I'm a massive Prince fan, and like he fought for artist rights, even fought to get his own masters from Warner Brothers, which he eventually did before he passed away. But knowing that was on Ray Charles's mind, like in the 60s, is just fascinating.
It also shows you just how smart he was, just business-wise, not anything else, because it was unheard of. And I didn't even realize that, I guess like you, I didn't realize that was even like a thing, much less a black artist saying, hey, this is what I'm going to have. And you're going to give it to me. And, and then like even when he leaves, what record is it? It's not Sun, is it?
No, it was a smaller record. He leaves that for Atlantic.
Even that.
And then Atlantic tries, somebody tries to steal him from Atlantic, was ABC.
Yeah. And so, but even then, he's like, hey, man, it's nothing personal. It's business. But that's the thing, is that it was about money, but he knew how to do it and how to capitalize. So then by the time he's going there and he's requesting something that, like you said, is unheard of.
Yeah.
That just shows you that he's got enough sense and enough confidence to know that if his stuff is his.
I also thought he had phenomenal street smarts as well, whether this happened in real life or not. But it's early in the film. He's ready to get on the bus to head to Seattle. The bus pulls in. The bus driver's like, hey, the bathrooms are here. Get you something to eat. We got to be gone in 45 minutes or whatever. And Ray's just standing there waiting to board this bus with his bag. He's holding the ticket. He's like, sir. And the guy comes up to him. He's a white fellow, obviously. And he drops the N-word a couple of times towards Ray. And he's like, makes some sort of comment about him being blind. He's like, yeah, I left my eyes over in World War II somewhere in Normandy or whatever.
Yeah.
As knowing that it's a damn lie, but when it's so early in the film, and me not seeing him before and not really knowing Ray Charles' history, I was like, did Ray Charles go to fight in World War II, and that's actually how he lost his vision?
Yeah.
I was like, let me do a quick Google search real quick, and I'm like, that lying bastard was fucking sneaky.
No, he was good, and I mean he seemed funny, But then it is, I mean, you know, depending on how much you know about him or not, it is like he kind of becomes that kind of, you know, self-suffering artist and the womanizer, but there is such, he's breaking barriers and making history, even while, like, yes, he has his faults, but as far as with music and stuff, that, I mean, I think that's what it is. It's almost like there's this great success, but look at what, I mean, it's a tale as old as time as success, and you know, what is that related to happiness? And then of course, I mean, he's obviously, you know, with these broken relationships and stuff, but there's that genius that just, it runs all the way through.
Yeah. And you talked about him being a smart businessman. I love the scenes where, like, because before these even happened, I was questioning, I was like, how much did he get robbed over the years?
Yeah.
That he wasn't aware of.
Yeah,
and then you saw that he has a deal set up. He's like, I get paid in ones.
Yeah.
So you're going to count every single one out to me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, let's say he made $100 for a gig or whatnot. Somebody could go 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and it's only $5.
Right.
But he's like,
but if he has ones and
you can't fuck up a one.
No. But that's what I mean, what's sad is that's what he had to do. And as much as, like, none of us can at this table can sit here and think about it, but he's like, he was smart.
Yeah.
Because he also understood the culture and the country he's living in, and thinks, if I'm doing it, and you know, he was getting ripped off.
Oh, yeah.
So some of it is kind of learning and thinking, okay, this is how this is how I'll do it. I mean, from getting paid to the Masters to playing chess. And
I kind of give some of that credit to his mother, who died shortly after he moved away to Florida. She died while Ray was at a young age. But in the film, they keep hammering in how important an education was to her for him to get.
Yeah. Well, she knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you see her getting robbed at the very beginning of the film. She's like, I see what you're charging these white people, and you're not giving me.
Yeah. But she kind of wasn't taking any shit, like calling it out for what it was. And so yeah, that's true. That is, a lot of it is how she raised him. And it kind of shows you she did something right, because he, you know, being black and being blind, and he wasn't going to be pushed around. But again, that mind of his saved his life, no matter, you know, I'm sure several times.
The needle tried to take it from him several times, but luckily that's not what got him in the end.
Nope. Liver disease.
Damn hepatitis.
Yep.
Which you could have gotten from a needle, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah. This film was highly awarded throughout the seasons of the award season. It was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, winning 2 of them. One for Best Actor. We've already discussed that with Jamie Foxx. And then sound mixing as well.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Best Actor. Best Actor, Jamie Foxx won every major award for his performance. Nominated for Oscar. Or won the Oscar, won the Golden Globe, won the BAFTA, won the Critics' Choice, the BET, the Image Awards, Screen Actors Guilds. But he did not win at the MTV Movie Awards.
What?
Or the Teen Choice Awards.
You know what? Who won?
I didn't go that far in. I didn't care that much.
That's bullshit.
Probably Tom Cruise.
Can I ask, do we know who was nominated
for the Oscar that year?
For Best Actor?
I did not look that up.
That's okay. Keep going. I'll find it.
But the other nominations they had this year was, like I said, Best Actor, Best Sound Mixing, but they also had Best Costume Design, Best Film Editing, and Best Directing, as well as Best Picture, if I didn't say that earlier. This is where the sound mixing comes in, because you talked about how the sound mixing was very important, sound editing was very important for this film. Originally slated to be released on the first week of October of 2004, but there was a delay at the start of editing that prompted this movie to be released 2 weeks later. So according to the writer, producer, and director Taylor Hackford, the original editor of the film quit the project 1 month after production started, before Paul Hirsch was brought in. And when Hirsch joined in, he wanted an additional 2 weeks to edit the earlier material, which was approved, and he insisted to have a standalone work print which became the extended version of this film. I guess that would put it at around 3 hours. I don't need a 3-hour Ray film.
I'm in.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's all you.
Let's watch 5.
No, I'm good.
5 hours.
I'm good.
And a sequel.
Oh my God.
That's 6 hours.
Yeah.
Ray 2 Electric Boogaloo, baby.
So I have it up here. Jamie Foxx won. And his fellow nominees were Don Cheadle for Hotel Rwanda,
Yeah.
Johnny Depp for Finding Neverland,
No.
DiCaprio for The Aviator,
Eh.
and Eastwood for $1 Million Baby.
Deserving.
I got no problem with him winning.
Yeah.
And honestly, you could throw in a few more people, and this was an incredible performance. I don't think he'll ever get there again. And parts of me was kind of thinking, did he make the most? But I'm like, you know what? I guess he did.
I still don't know what happened with this illness.
He addresses it in some stand-up he's doing for
Really?
Netflix. Yeah.
I've heard rumors.
Apparently, he almost died.
I've heard rumors that the Puff Daddy organization has something to do with his illness.
Oh my God.
I haven't seen the stand-up, so.
Well, I think it comes out at the end of the year,
okay.
maybe. Yeah, no, it's not out yet.
Okay. Well,
But he did The Kingdom.
right.
I don't know if you remember that action
Yeah.
one. But I mean, he got to be a Spider-Man villain.
He's got his own game show.
Yeah, he got to be a Tarantino movie. He was in Baby Driver, Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done
I
some
think
good
he's
stuff.
done fine for himself.
I
I
don't think he'll ever get. I think the thing is that I think he probably had those few years, got some money, but I don't know about headlining
Yeah.
movies anymore.
I mean, but he put out, Grammy nominated music.
He capitalized on
He's not hurting.
everything. No,
He's
just
no
mean,
Nick Cannon,
I don't think,
but he's doing all right.
but I don't think he has that Ray collateral, and I think that was just lightning in a bottle.
Is that his name in that movie? Ray Collateral?
Ray Collateral, I think so.
That's a great name right there.
Vincent Collateral.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you have that year that's like career defining. Like, but then it's like the choices he makes after, and I mean, he's in some vampire movie on Netflix, which is stupid. But
Well, I mean, some actors, depending on, I think it depends on your ego and such. Some actors will have a year like that and then try to chase it for the rest of their career.
oh, that's true.
And then you have actors who are like, I got the golden ticket. I'm happy. I don't have to chase this anymore. I know I'm made the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And going to his game show, he's doing it with his daughter, so
Yeah.
so he's happy.
Yeah. Not as cool, but yeah.
I mean, not everybody has
He
to
was
have the
supposed to
spotlight on
do
them at all
another
time.
biopic.
Yeah,
You know of who?
Ali,
Nope, but it's another boxer.
Sugar Ray Leonard,
Nope.
Lennox
Mike
Lewis.
Tyson.
Tyson.
Nah, it's Michael B. Jordan's role.
I could see Jamie Foxx being a Mike
Yeah.
Tyson.
Yeah.
I really could. Michael B. Jordan can't. He's Creed.
Yeah,
He'll
well,
always be Creed.
whatever.
But you know what I mean? Like, Collateral Ray just seemed like, man. But Django was probably on up there because, I mean, anytime you do a Tarantino movie, that's a
Yeah.
big deal. Again, he wasn't the best, but he was a Spider-Man villain.
twice.
Yeah, which at least the second time was a little more, gave it a little bit more justice.
I will say that first time in Spider-Man, he's the reason why I bought a ticket.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree. Then you see it and you're like, okay.
Was that
well.
Toby?
No, that was Garfield.
Garfield, okay.
Yeah, and
I didn't know who the hell Andrew Garfield was at the time. So.
Who was the other villain in that one? Anybody remember?
Was that
Which
the
one?
the sand one with Thomas Hayden Church?
No, that's Spider-Man 3 with
Okay.
Toby and Venom. Who was with
Spider-Man
Electro?
2?
Yeah,
It was
Amazing Spider-Man.
Paul
2.
Giamatti's Rhino, wasn't it?
I think that was at the beginning, but
Yeah.
we didn't see him again.
I've seen it once.
I feel like I'm missing.
It wasn't Lizard.
Who's the? Wasn't another Green Goblin? Dane DeHaan, didn't he play
Yeah.
the other Green
Yeah.
Goblin? Yeah. Okay.
Hey, folks, if you're new to Drinking With, this happens in every episode where we get way off the fucking rail.
I'm still talking about Jamie Foxx. Jesus.
Yeah.
Barely.
Anyway, back to him being probably playing those biggest role that he'll ever have.
This was the first African American biopic nominated for Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor.
Was this must have been before Ali?
I think so.
It'd have to be because Ali, I know, got nominated.
Michael
Mann, represent.
Ray was the only Best Picture nominee at the Oscars that year that was not nominated for Best Picture at the Producers Guild of America Awards.
PGAs.
You know what took its place?
So out of the 5, that was the only one that didn't?
That didn't. You want a hint?
Well, I'm thinking Sideways is in there. $1 Million Baby's in there. The Aviator's in there.
And I forget what the
was it Finding Neverland?
It was.
Oh, that's right. We talked about how we could replace that. Spoiler alert. Yeah, give me a hint.
Animated.
Oh, man.
The Incredibles.
Bingo.
Oh, okay.
That's a great film, but
it's fine. But I would have that over Ray. I think is a bit.
Yeah,
it's a bit much.
It was also the only Best Picture nominee that year not to be nominated for one of the writing categories.
Oh, for original.
Dang.
Original or adapted.
Wow. So, fuck you, Taylor Hackford.
I do not have much left, but I do have a coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Who should have played Ray Charles?
All right. The only person that was thought of for any roles outside of who was cast was the title character himself.
I figured.
There was originally another Ray.
Okay.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Ray Winstone.
Ray Collateral.
Oh, that's him.
Ray. I would love to see Ray.
You know who I'm. There's only one person that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But I hope that isn't it.
I don't.
I just feel like if it's a prominent role and, Denzel.
It is Denzel.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't see. I just couldn't actually see him do it. I don't even think I don't know. I don't think I can see him as the young Ray Charles going in. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't see it either. And I love Denzel.
Oh, Denzel's the best of the best.
Yeah. I mean, he was amazing as Malcolm.
Yes. Yeah. The Hurricane?
The Hurricane
That's
as well.
a good one.
Yeah,
I'm only talking biopics right now, but yes.
But he's phenomenal in everything he's ever been in.
But I can't. But just physically, I don't think I could see him.
No.
Doing it. I know he could. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. But I also was kind of hoping you would say someone different because I feel like that's just like the go-to. Like, well, call Denzel.
Yeah.
See what he's doing.
Well, on the history of this show is if you needed a black actor, Denzel's the guy to go to. Yeah. And then if you needed a white actress, it was always Alicia Silverstone.
Right.
That's the history of Drinking With.
And they're both pretty much same level.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they're the same, basically the same person.
Is that it? Just Denzel?
That was the only one.
God.
That was really short and simple.
Okay, wow.
And that really wraps up what I have for Ray. I thoroughly enjoyed the musical scenes in this film, especially the ones. I forget what concert hall they're in, but it's not segregated because you had the whites and blacks. I think it was later he went back to Georgia. They kind of showed that.
Is it that Give Me the Hay?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's probably my favorite there. And then
I love that one, and I forgot how it sings it. And it might not be the one where the mic is a little messed up. He has to fix it. But where he's like, I gotta, let me tell you about a girl I know.
Yeah.
She's my babe. Like, it's so good. And that energy that's brought in these musical scenes. Like, it's great stuff.
I only
really
knew.
Is. And it hasn't aged a bit. Like, it's still, it's a pretty, I will say, it's a pretty, what's the word? It's a pretty standard biopic.
Yeah.
As far as just structure and storytelling. So that tells me that then it comes down to how it's shaped, how it's crafted. And I think that's where direction, obviously performances, everything dealing with the music really shines because it's not telling you a story you probably haven't already heard. It may not be Ray Charles' story, but then I think, and what I appreciate, and this is some of my gripe with Bohemian Rhapsody is Queen comes in, Freddie Mercury's dead, right? So Queen is going to make a Freddie Mercury movie.
Yeah, Brian May and company.
Right. So they're going to tell it one way, and then that's it. And if anybody has seen Bohemian Rhapsody, it's not a bad movie, but it's a Freddie Mercury movie that Queen is telling, not Freddie Mercury.
Right.
There's I don't even know if there's barely mention of him being gay, which I thought that was a
huge part
pretty
of his
known
life. Yeah.
fact. I like that Ray Charles, it's the good with the bad.
Yep.
I cheated. I
Had my demons.
had my affairs. I had heroin, and there you go. And there's an extra element because when he's getting famous, it's during a hell of a time. Not just for race factor, but just the business.
Yeah.
Where there is rock and roll coming, and it's not that same kind of blues, and Sinatra's out, he's in kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's like in the beginning of the film, like I knew Ray Charles through the hits like Hit the Road Jack, I Got a Woman, the really upbeat stuff.
Yeah.
But then you learn that early in his career, he was basically a Nat King Cole ripoff.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He just did standard type songs, and it wasn't until really something like I Got a Woman.
Well, Mess Around was sort of a hit.
Yeah. And then I Got a Woman was a huge hit the following year. And there's even the scene where B is chastising Ray when he's playing I Got a Woman in their home.
Yeah.
For the
because
first
it's
time.
not church music.
It's a gospel song by the Southern Tones called It Must Be Jesus that he had basically taken and changed up the lyrics to make I Got a Woman.
But that, I mean, again, it's such genius, and I think they capture it really well, but I think there's a lot of the time that he's coming up in that makes it, because honestly, after watching it again, I'm like, and I've seen it several times, I'm like, the structure it's nothing original, like but
Yeah.
what you're filling in with those 2.5 hours, I mean, to me, it's terrific stuff. So, are we ready for Mount Rushmore?
Let's Mount Rushmore this bitch because I think it's
all right. Hold on,
bedtime
Stoney,
for all
can
of
you
us.
wake up?
Huh?
There
What?
we go.
What?
It's
Okay.
Mount Rushmore time.
I've got mine ready.
Favorite biopics, not necessarily music biopics, but just biopics in general.
And this could be a life-spanning one, like Ray, or it could be just a moment in time and history.
Yeah.
So that's why basically whatever we want it to be, a biopic. So
The first one that immediately came to mind for me was Walk the Line. Loved Walk the Line.
Yep, that's a good one.
I go Moneyball.
Yep, that was kind of surprising, but that does make sense. I mean, it's, again, moment in change baseball, Billy Bean.
I go with Oppenheimer.
Yep.
Which, spoiler alert, we hadn't really
almost
talked about. we had, before we recorded, we were going over some of our numbers, and I was like, after I had my list, I realized Oppenheimer, and you were like, holy shit.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Or my time. I can't say of all time because I wasn't around for the 20s.
So what do you have? Moneyball, Oppenheimer,
Walk the Line,
okay.
and then I'm going with Spotlight.
Oh, nice one.
Now see, that's a good one too.
That's a good one too.
I'm gonna say Oppenheimer for sure. I'm gonna say Wolf of Wall Street.
It's a good one.
Ray, it is.
Yeah.
Like I said, one of the best that I've seen. Just movies in general, much less biopics. The fourth one is kind of tough. I will stay away from Moneyball, even though that is a really good one. Also, Walk the Line. I actually really enjoyed that one. That was the closest thing to Ray I think we've kind of seen, because it went for that same structure. Damn, I also thought I already had one. Damn. Oppenheimer, Wolf of Wall Street, Ray, and McCash, go ahead.
Man, now that I have my list, but then there's so many that I just saw and thought of that I want to change my complete list. But with what
You can.
I have an honorable mention to start with, and it's a movie I haven't seen yet because at the time of this recording it hasn't been released. But I'm going to go with Better Man, the biopic of megastar Robbie Williams from the director of The Greatest Showman. I can't wait to see that movie. I know I'm going to love it. That's my honorable mention. But one that just popped up that I completely forgot about because when this movie came out, I absolutely loved it. I'm obsessed with the lead actor, and that's Chaplin. Robert Downey Jr. as Charles Chaplin was just phenomenal. But my real four that I had listed, I'm going to go first with Wonderland, which is the story of porn star John Holmes, starring Val Kilmer, Lisa Kudrow, and Kate Bosworth. Love that movie. Another one it's called Shattered Glass, which is the story of disgraced journalist Stephen Glass, who's known for fabricating over half of the articles that he wrote for the New Republic. That Hayden Christensen plays Stephen in that movie. And then Tick, Tick, Boom, the kind of biopic on Jonathan Larson, who famously wrote the Broadway musical Rent. And then lastly, being the Spike Lee fan that I am, I went with Black Klansman.
I just saw Black Klansman on for the list, and I thought, that's a good one.
But Man on the Moon is one that just popped in my head that I'm like, damn, that's a good movie.
I never saw that. I
That
never
is a
caught Man
good
on the
one.
Moon.
No?
You never saw that one?
No, it was playing at the Belcourt. They did their 1999 series last summer, and I wanted to go see it in the theater for the first time, but couldn't make it happen. Couldn't make it work.
Man, I thought, as I'm looking, I swear I thought I had my fourth one.
Amadeus?
No, I've actually never seen that.
Oh, great film.
Yeah, I wanted to see it at Belcourt, but I never got to.
I'm disappointed I didn't say Schindler's List because I love that movie.
Schindler's List is a good one. That's a hell of a watch.
It's not one you rewatch a lot.
No, that's true.
But I'm kind of surprised Stoney didn't throw in Remember the Titans.
Well,
We talk about that, but I'm kind of like him. I'm like, well, I don't know. That's kind of tough.
I liked Remember the Titans. I'm not saying I didn't, but I think the four movies that I picked would be like 5 out of 5 all-timers, in my opinion.
You know what? I am going to go with one, and I wish I would have remembered, because I'm even looking at like music biopics. I did enjoy Maestro, Bradley Cooper.
Oh,
yeah.
I did enjoy that one. Elvis is good. I wouldn't put it up there. But, I will...
The King's Speech?
Yeah. And Last King of Scotland was one of those, too, where I was like, you know what? I would like to watch that again.
Anybody mention A Beautiful Mind?
No.
Or The Social Network?
I see Braveheart.
Yeah.
Oh, Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Oh. I just remember what it was. Social Network.
I literally just said
Did
that.
you?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, sorry, I was looking.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
I did not hear that at all. But I will say, another one I was about to say, and I like, is Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one. But yeah, Social Network. I knew I had one, because when you said Oppenheimer, I'm like, oh, that's my fourth. But yeah. It's also kind of funny what is considered biopics. Like, I think a lot of people think of Ray, like, real people in there, but like Moneyball is a great example where it's not your traditional biopic, but it is about a real person and about a real time that also obviously was a huge, had huge effect on, in this case, baseball. But also just, that's one of the best films. Brad Pitt should have won an Oscar with it right then and there.
Yep.
There was one that just popped up that I wasn't aware was a biopic. Goodfellas.
Yeah. It is based on the real people, because they
really?
were, yeah.
I did not know that.
Did someone already say Catch Me If You Can? Did I say it?
No, I saw
Stoney
it.
brought that up beforehand, and I thought that was a good one. Christopher Walken in that one.
Yeah, Milk is another good one.
Oh yeah, that's right. He said that one too.
Oh, okay.
How come you didn't say House of Gucci?
Oh,
I
like that
House of
movie.
Gucci.
I know.
Yeah.
The Blind Side.
Yeah.
No.
No.
That hasn't aged well.
It hasn't. No.
It hasn't. And you know what?
Oh,
I
damn.
did really like that movie, but as time has gone on, and especially now, like, I'm pretty sure he sued the family.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this was like a Disney, like, reimagining of
Yeah.
a white woman.
And then 2 boxing ones, the Fighter and Cinderella Man.
Yeah.
Cinderella Man was good.
That was
I
a
really
good
like
one.
that movie, yeah. Anybody got anything else? I mean, we could do those biopics till dawn, and I'd rather not.
I know. Yeah. No,
Yeah. No, I
good idea.
made it through my notes for this
Yeah,
episode.
I was going to
Sweet.
say, got through his.
Yeah, so cheers to that, and cheers to another episode of Drinking With, where we've explored the films that have come of age just like a fine wine. As we raise our glasses to movies turning 21, we've laughed, reminisced, and maybe shed a tear or two over the timeless classics. So until next time, may your drinks be cold, your conversations lively, and your movie nights unforgettable. Drink responsibly, and remember, age is just a number, but great films are forever. You can find me on Twitter at MC_Cash75 and also on Letterboxd at Stephen McCash. It's that simple. Gentlemen, tell these fine folks how they can connect with you.
At Stoney Keeley, at Sobros Network.
And me, Twitter, at Sir Brandon V, and Sir Brandon on Letterboxd.
Make sure you go by SobrosNetwork.com where you can find all of our work. And most importantly, subscribe to Drinking With wherever you get your podcast fix. Leave us a rating and review so we know what you think about the show. Let us know what movie that's turning 21 years old that you would like us to discuss. And until next time, we got to go because I got some videotapes to return.
Boom.